earthquake.
There's your sink.
It's only when you kick it. Okay, so we got this actually about a month ago, and it's kind of been sitting here, so the box is a little bit of a hot mess, but it came very nicely boxed when we
we're
got
building a barn.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think it's upside down.
I think you are correct.
We should roll it and then pull this off. Oh, that's terrible.
That's lovely.
Can lay the boxes down on the ground to start our pile. Oh. So see, you already get a starter. And our directions are not ruined. Oh, look at that. You gonna video that? Oh, see, look, we need shovels. Such good posture. So, basically, it looks like that. That's super simple.
It looks tiny compared to those stick people.
I know. Okay, so it is 7 feet in the center here, and then 10 feet here, and 20 feet this way.
Awesome.
And all of that.
Oh, wait. Hold, and
all of that makes the skeleton of it. Oh, and it does have pretty decent. I like picture instructions because I don't read them anyway. Look, they already know. They already know. They're like, shh, nobody reads the directions.
Let's just draw out the pictures.
There we go. That looks really simple.
We've got this.
We got it. Let's do it.
If we can build the barn, we can do this.
Totally. We don't have to mill anything. For those of you that have watched our channel, you know that Beaver is a longtime sponsor of our channel. We have really enjoyed all of the products that we've gotten to use from them. In fact, I've actually just personally purchased a few things that I'm really excited to show you in future videos because I like the company so much and the quality of their products are really high. When Viva reached out to me, I told him that I really needed a greenhouse and what I was trying to do and the things that we needed to do here on the homestead. And I've actually never had a greenhouse before, so I know that there's a pretty big learning curve, and I was really hoping that over this winter I could really monitor the temperatures and kind of see how that was gonna go for our growing season. The really cool thing about this particular greenhouse is that it has excellent air ventilation. It has 12 mesh windows, and it can keep out small annoyances and increase cross ventilation and airflow. It also has 2 roll-up zipper doors for air to freely enter and exit. They've upgraded the galvanized steel to 0.8 diameter and 0.2 thickness. This greenhouse has 3 top beams to prevent rain and snow buildup on the dome, and the diagonal poles can assure stability during extreme weather. See, the walk-in greenhouse comes with a PE cover, which can protect the plants from ultraviolet rays, rust, snow, and rain all year round. The size of the cover fits the frame closely, enhancing the warmth and wind resistance in winter. This kit actually came with all of the tools, which was really important to me. It's very easy to assemble with the connectors, and screw covers can prevent scratches and rust. It includes 4 ropes, stakes, and guide ropes for added security, stability, and strength. This 20 by 10 by 7 feet greenhouse provides the best solution for cultivating vegetables, flowers, and creating beautiful landscapes efficiently. The hoop house kit protects plants from the cold, frost, and hail in winter, and it creates a better environment by increasing the airflow in the summer. I'm really excited to be able to add this to my homestead, and I've kind of been looking at different greenhouses, and you guys know that we have a really big greenhouse planned for in the future, but when I was looking at Beaver's greenhouses, this one fit my area. Okay, now step one. A lot of steps in these. And it was really pretty cool because being able to put it up now, and I'm planning what I'm actually going to be planting in the summer and such. I feel like this entire area is going to end up being tomato plants because we have such a difficult time growing tomato plants here without the help of a greenhouse or a hothouse. And this was super simple for Kim and I to put together. It actually did not take very long. We took 2 days because we did it at the end of our work day, both days. So we were able to spend just a little bit of time, and I would say in a couple of hours, we were able to get it completely up. And I know a lot of people don't really like to see commercials in videos, so I'm actually showing you this entire build because it's something that we had planned on doing anyway. And I had already been researching Beaver and this product. So I was really excited when they reached out and they wanted to sponsor a video, and I was able to ask them for this greenhouse. So one of the things that I kind of want to do throughout the winter, and I've seen other people do, is that they will keep their birds or their rabbits and such inside the greenhouse throughout the winter. And so I'm really hoping that I will be able to do that. I really like how lightweight this is, and I feel with a few friends we would be able to just lift it up and move it to a new area and start a whole new area, new greenhouse, new bedding, new all of that, and prepping that area. And we would be able to keep, you know, critters out. That was a really big problem that I had this summer in our garden. Was we have a lot of chipmunks in our area, and they definitely wanted to eat all the goodies. And so this is really going to help keep them out of my garden so that I get more produce. You know, you kind of got to think of when you're building a homestead completely from scratch, where you're going to put things, how you're going to do things, and the level of importance in when you actually do things. And food is very important to me. I think it's important to all of us. And I really believe that starting a garden and growing, there's definitely a learning curve for any new area that you're in. And being able to put up this very affordable greenhouse and get started early on, knowing that you could easily move it when you absolutely decide exactly where you want your garden, is kind of a win-win for me. And I wish that I would have had it really straight out the gate whenever I bought the property, because we have such a short growing season here, and it would have extended, you know, let's just even say a month on each end of the growing season is a really big deal. We get a lot of green tomatoes because they just don't have time to finish ripening out, and I have to end up doing that inside. And I don't know about you, but I like really fresh picked tomatoes off the vine. This greenhouse is actually big enough to even have a planting area where you're planting all of your starts in pots and such, and a growing area. So I could see being able to set everything up and keeping everything in one particular space. You could also, I think, very easily use this for your chickens or your bunnies and such. That was step 4. For them to be able to last through winter and have a little bit more of an area to move around in if you weren't going to be planting in it. I do love having my garden near my chickens, because then I can easily toss them the scraps and they absolutely love it. So having this near a chicken coop would be fantastic, I believe. And because it's not so tall, it's actually would be very easy to throw a shade cloth over. You know, and I don't think you would need any ladders. You wouldn't need any of those things, and it would be pretty easy. So all in all, I'm really excited about adding this to the homestead, and I do recommend it. I do know in high winds, we definitely will need to tie it down a little bit more. I have definitely seen people add pallets and such to the sides to help hold it down and stuff. We do get very high winds here, so that is a concern for us, so we will be doing that. We also get quite a bit of snow, so I will be adding 4x4 posts into the center of this to just give a little bit more stability. But if that was not an issue for you and where you live, you wouldn't have to do that. It's like it says like it says in the description, the actual plastic holds pretty tight, so I don't think you're going to have any puddling or anything like that. The water's literally just going to run off. This would have been fantastic in Texas. We don't get a lot of snow there, but up here in northern Idaho we do. So we definitely need to give it a little bit extra help with some center posts. I really appreciate you guys that have watched our videos and definitely support us. And if you have not subscribed, I hope that you will. It helps us quite a bit. I really think that adding the greenhouse is going to make a huge difference for us next season, and hopefully for the critters all winter, because that's what we're going to be putting in here are the birds and all of that. That's fantastic, bud. Bud just got in trouble. 6'8". We're really excited that Beaver sent this to us. It's about $158. I think it's well worth it. I am going to put some 4x4s in the center because we do get a lot of snow here. That'll help reinforce it. And I think we are going to do some compost inside, and then we'll be checking the temperature and see how it does. So make sure that you follow along and you can see how good this is. And I think you should get one. It's pretty good plastic here. And then just having this section that zips up, you know, the doors and stuff is, of course I've tied it really tight, so now it doesn't want to sit closed. Because welcome to my world. But we'll definitely be moving this around. It's light enough that next season we'll be able to move it into another section and hopefully start some tomatoes in the ground, and then get them started early, because that's one of our biggest things. We don't get to plant here till really late. So, well, it's been a little bit since we put the greenhouse up, and winter is showing up in full force, and we're supposed to get a huge amount of rain. And so we decided to yosugiban the rafters, the wood that we have for the rafters. And I'm really hoping that we can continue work on this barn. I do know that our plates are actually being cut, so you guys, that's really exciting. I want to thank everybody that helped contribute to that. We do still have a few more spots available if you want to buy your veteran loved one some dog tags. I'll put a link in the description below for the video that explains that a little bit more. I want to tell another story about my grandpa. He's just like the coolest guy. And when I was in, I think it was 5th grade, We were studying the Old West, and I can't remember exactly who it was that we were studying, but as I was looking at this picture, I said, my grandpa owns this gun. And the teacher said, no, don't lie. And, over the course of this, I said this like multiple times. So my grandpa owns that. I've seen that. I've actually seen that in person. And I actually got taken to the principal's office, and they called my mom, and they were like, Heather's been caught lying. And my mom was like, what about? And so when they explained it to her, she said, well, I really hate to tell you this, but she's not lying. He does own those things. So my grandfather had the absolute largest Western paraphernalia collection in the world. And this is the stuff that I actually grew up around. And he actually owned Wyatt Earp's sawed-off shotgun. He owned the gun that killed Billy the Kid. He owned a lot of Annie Oakley's stuff. He just had some really cool stuff that is actually now sitting in museums. When he sold his collection, just about all of his collection went to museums or private buyers that also collect specific things. And I remember when that auction happened and he sold the stuff off, I literally just sat there crying, because this was stuff that I had grown up with and that, truly meant a lot to me. It wasn't just history, it was really a part of my grandpa. He actually wrote for Gun Western magazine, and he was an artist, and he just did a lot of really cool things. And, one of the biggest things that I learned from him is that it's okay to do multiple different things, and you can do all of those things really well. He had this amazing gun collection. He was a house builder. He built beautiful homes that are still standing today. He kept immaculate care of, this really old stuff that had a lot of value to it. He was an amazing artist. He went to college and got an art degree and did all of that. And he was just this phenomenal person. And I think the coolest lesson was that you can absolutely do multiple things in your life, and it's okay to end a chapter and to begin another chapter. So those of you that have been watching the channel know that I hurt myself, and this is exactly when I fall. I was putting the tarp on, and it took him a minute to see that I had fallen, and she came running over, and I wanted to just get this tarped because we were expecting about 4 days of rain, and it's really not good for the machine to sit out in the rain. And I really thought I broke my wrist. You can see that I was holding it against my body, and the adrenaline was still there. So we were able to get this tarped and then go inside and sit. And I've definitely been resting for the last couple of weeks. This is the last day on the barn build for now, but make sure you come back so you can watch the rest of the journey.